Hmm. There we go. That's just for later. Don't know if any trucker's still going on. I usually try to start this after he's stopped, but eh, holy moly. I can't get this one open. Yeah. Oh, there we go. This one was able to be opened. I went on the really cheap side for the stuff, for the alcohol this time. And of course, since I'm in the storage unit, there will be no nicotine until the thing ends. Let's see, Beard, what's up? Star Trek. I don't watch that stuff anymore for legit reasons. I think AT is still going. Last I checked. I don't know. I'm not gonna complain if he is. And how you doing, Germ? Yeah, I went ultra cheap this time, mostly because I literally just walked in and said, "Hey, what's cheap and what goes good in coffee?" And he gave me these, so we'll find out. See if they're any better than the Patron from that one time, or because normally I like my Baileys. I gotta admit, I'm usually pretty fond of Baileys, but the little shots for those are like $3 or $4, and I'm too cheap to do that all the time. Especially if I'm going to be doing two of these each time I do one of these streams. So, plus it's allowing me to expand my alcohol/coffee palette. Oh, well, it depends on what he's ranting about. If he's ranting about something worth it, then I'm not going to complain because the schools definitely do need an overhaul. And of course, this is this week's mug. It's a Wonder Woman mug. So, event soon. I don't know when. Probably when I get off my lazy ass and make it. I'm going to do a special section of the SD Game Swap store, and that's where I'm going to put all the coffee mugs. I mean, there's a couple of coffee mugs already on there, but I'm going to make a dedicated section, kind of like Caddy's Corner or the Anti Outlet, just for the CNA stream. Then it's going to be the I'm thinking about like calling it the CNA coffee bar or something like that. So, and I'm going to put all the coffee mugs from the streams up for sale there. Yeah, just by happenstance, because I just go to, swap meets, garage sales, thrift stores, that kind of stuff. And I see what coffee mugs they have to add to what I want to use for that week. Out of the first ones I found were a Batman, a Superman, and a Wonder Woman at 3 different locations, and I ended up getting the DC Trinity. And I still haven't found a decent Marvel mug. Hey, Bird, outside a bun. Now that I got the coffee set up, and hey, Indy, I thought I've got the trailer for Lower Decks queued up. I'm going to play a couple of seconds. Tell me if you guys can hear it, because I don't want you guys to be able to hear it right now, only because, the whole copyright content ID stuff. Granted, I don't monetize my videos, but I could still get in trouble because I do paid promotions on a lot of my stuff. So I'm going to play it. Tell me if you guys can hear it. I'm going to play like the first 10 seconds. All right, tell me if you guys actually heard that. That was the first 11 seconds of the Lower Decks trailer. No, I didn't try to, Richie. I didn't know when he was going to end. I was just, no, CBS blocked your entire video when you test uploaded it. Okay. And yeah, Richie, I wasn't trying to start it before he finished. I was just said I was finishing a cigarette, and I was like, okay, I figured by the time he said I'm going to get right off. So I figured by the time I, got it up and everything. All right, cool. So you guys didn't hear anything. I'll just watch it and tell you what I think. The only thing I've really seen so far is one of the promotional shots and the picture of the ship because people kept posting it everywhere and complaining. So. Okay. First things first, I don't have an issue with it being a mostly comedy series. Obviously, the whole opening bit, if you haven't seen it already, Bird has a wrench. He can post a link to it. That way you guys can go watch it real quick. But maybe because I'm a Transformers fan, I can forgive a lot more when it comes to discontinuity when it comes to new shows. Because, granted, I grew up with Generation 1. And Beast Wars and Beast Machines were loose continuations of Generation 1. But like shows like Robots in the first Robots in Disguise, Armada, Cybertron, Energon, Animated, those are all new universes each time. And I don't have a problem with it when they're just new universes, new interpretations of the characters. Like Transformers Animated was a great version of Transformers. It had a pretty decent storyline, but Optimus Prime was not the leader of the Autobots. He was basically the leader of a small ragtag crew of maintenance people. And it was actually kind of cool. It still had the, but someone who was more homely to start out with and became that great hero over time, even though he's still battling Megatron. And it was still a very well done series. So as long as this show is not presented as being part of the quote unquote prime timeline, I'll be fine with it. Humor for humor's sake is still funny. It can be Star Trek inspired and still have the Star Trek label under it. And I'll be happy. So that was just with the whole beginning of the trailer. Let me go on. All right, now they're making a couple of the jokes about like holodeck waste removal, which kind of could clear up some aspects of what we think about what happens where everything goes when it doesn't. But again, it's played for gross humor. There's like another shot of, like someone doing some medical stuff and gross stuff all over the place. So there's definitely going to be some gross out humor, which again, for a more kid-friendly-ish type show, I don't have a problem with, especially when in animated. So far, I haven't seen anything really objectable. as long as they don't say it's part of Prime, which is my big gripe about Discovery. Is if Discovery isn't Prime, I think it's actually pretty good, minus the Michael Burnham character. All right, now there was something I just saw about. They have a brief shot of like an MSD. If you don't know what the MSD is, that's the Master System Display. That's usually the outline of the engineering that has a picture of all the decks on it. Now, when I first saw the ship, I thought the whole lower decks aspect was going to be the fact that it was going to be on that lower part of the ship, and that's why they were going to be. That's where this show was going to take place mostly of. Now, wait, can you guys actually hear me right now? Did I? Hopefully, you guys have been hearing me the whole time I've been talking. I hope every time I played the video, you guys suddenly couldn't hear me. But the MSD, what they're what I was saying is, there's a shot of it, and they're saying that. Okay, cool. Well, Richie, if you know anything about Star Trek canon, it's always been kind of a joke because the animated series isn't considered canon. Even back then, the comic books were not considered canon. The books were not considered canon. At least when it came to like Star Wars tried to keep almost everything, comic books, movies, even the video games, were at least loosely canon. So yeah, I actually liked that a little bit more. So canon for Star Trek has always been kind of nebulous. It's not been, or at least it's been more strict. I'm sorry, not nebulous. Because it was limited to just the live action TV shows and movies. So, but to go back to the MSD, the MSD shows basically that the ship is still going to be just the lower decks is still a lower deck part of the upper part of that ship. So you got the big ship, you got the lower section. So the lower decks is still is like the bottom corner of the ship underneath the shuttle bay. So it's good that they actually address that a little bit. All right, so I paused it again. It's almost over, but so you've got an annoying character, obviously. Obviously, there's going to be a zombie episode because they've kind of showed that part. I don't have a problem with zombies in Star Trek because let's face it, the Borg are essentially cyborg zombies anyway. But as long as they have I'm sure there'll be a nice, funny solution to that problem, which I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't have a problem with. Hey, sweetheart. They were in the old days. Star Wars, Richie. Luke's wedding was in a comic. They had major stuff all the time. Yeah. Like the whole Dark Empire stuff. That was all in the comic books, and that was heavily influenced the last Star Wars movie. Was the whole Dark Empire stuff. And that was from like the 80s or 90s, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I didn't actually read the Star Wars comic books as much. I prefer actual books when I was reading Star Wars. But like even then, the Star Wars had a series of young adult novels, and all those were still considered canon, but they were done in such a way where it didn't matter as much. So, but yeah, the design of the ship doesn't look very canon. But then again, let's face it, there's a lot of Star Trek designs that are stupid anyway, and they still are considered canon. So I'm not going to complain too much about the ship. Maybe that the nacelles like Discovery are a little bit too long. Oh, sweetheart, I'm watching right now the Star Trek Lower Decks trailer. If you go for no, Richie. Originally, Star Wars canon was everything that was on screen in the books, in the comic books, and in the video games. Since Disney took over, they got rid of everything except for all the live action movies, the Clone Wars cartoon. Well, I take it back. They also got rid of the Ewok movies, even though they were live action. So it was the three main trilogies, the side movies that Disney's produced, the Clone Wars TV show, the Rebels TV show, and some of the books that Disney's put out since then are considered canon, as well as some of the aspects of the games, but not entirely. Because again, video games are always nebulously canon or not canon because they don't always make sense because of player action. So let me go ahead and finish the thing. Oh, actually, if someone can with a wrench, go ahead and post a link so Caddy can watch the trailer real quick. Okay, this is definitely not going to be a kid show. Okay, based on that last shot, yeah, it's Def Show, which is now negating a lot of what the goodwill I had towards it. I mean, I know it's made by the same guy that did Rick and Morty, and The Vile Child and I love Rick and Morty, but I don't know. I was hoping this would be more kid friendly, and that last shot definitely shot that all to help. I should have bought more of the things for alcohol. Because let's face it, a kid show doesn't have to be canon. Even in Star Wars, the old Ewok and Droids TV shows were never really considered canon. So I can forgive a kid's show for not being entirely canon. An adult-based show, less so. God dang it, I can't open this thing. Let's see if I got a tool I can use. All right, so let's go ahead and do this again. Wrong one in earlier. Did ever think it was going to be Star Trek Rick and Morty? I'm assuming you said did I or did you? I figured it would be heavily influenced. I didn't think it was going to have some of the adult humor. I still will watch it. I still think some of the stuff they showed was funny, but that's funny coming from an adult perspective. I would prefer if Lower Decks was a little less like that, so it could be aired on something like Nickelodeon and get some more Star Trek fans and that are younger. I mean, indoctrinate them while they're young to like Star Trek. That's what Star Wars does, and that's why it's the largest franchise in existence. But I mean, hell, if it works for Star Wars and religion, why can't it work for Star Trek? Let's indoctrinate them while they're young. But I'm going to try to post the link again, but it wouldn't let me do it. So copy. Alrighty. I think before I had the wrong one saved on my clipboard. So let's. All right. I don't know, but we'll see if this one works to let people in. And you can talk about what you think about it while I finish off this coffee and get some more and pour more alcohol into it. But considering I only have 7 people watching, I have no idea. Oh, we do have someone joining. Oh, it's Alexander. Probably that Alexander.
Hey, how are you?
Howdy, Alexander. Yes, that Alexander. How you doing?
Fine. I just wake up 20 minutes. It was 20 minutes ago because was like I slept. Yesterday we were playing stuff on DJ LDC stream, and I decided to take a little nap, and finally I sleep until 5 o'clock in the morning. So I woke up, I closed the computer, and I go with sleep again. So I think I needed it because now I just woke up now.
Well, have you seen the Lower Decks trailer yet?
What?
Have you seen the Lower Decks trailer? Because that's what we were talking about.
No.
Oh, and Kenny was in the back room, but she dropped out. I don't know what happened.
Catty, she write father in the private chat. Father.
Yeah, but she dropped out. I don't know what she did.
She should come back. Cathy, come back, please.
And I don't think the largest franchise is Disney Princesses, babe. She said that, but it's wrong. So let's see if we can now bring Caddy up. And we have the illustrious, the great, the one and only Bird of Prey 5 as well.
Bird of Prey!
Hello, world.
All right, Bird, I know you've seen the thing. What did you actually think about it? And I don't know if what you were saying in Annie Trekker's chat was being sarcastic or not.
No, I kind of liked it. I didn't hate it. I figured it was pretty. I mean, it was pretty much what I was expecting. I didn't think anything was terrible. I mean, they clearly had references. They were clearly using, I believe, in my opinion, like the TNG aesthetic, both for ships and for planets and for, stuff. So I kind of like that. Obviously it was animated, but I thought the animation quality was pretty good, especially on the ship.
Yeah, it looks like they were using cell shaded rendering for it.
Yeah. Now, I'm granted, it wouldn't be my first choice of ship design, but it's not the worst ship design either.
Oh no, it's not far enough the worst ship design.
I still think it's better than Discovery looks as a ship.
They don't put the bar really high, as I understood. I didn't watch Discovery, but as people are complaining, the bar is not high.
No, exactly. The bar is not high. I don't care. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, from like whatever it was, a minute and a half or 2 minute trailer. I don't even know if it was 2 minutes. And maybe
Also-
that's gonna be
It was
second.
about 2 minutes for me.
Okay, so a 2 minute trailer, you're not going to see if there's got any kind of really deep type humor. The only thing they can really show off is just
The one-liners,
the
and that's what
zany, yeah.
Orville did originally. Is they showed a lot of the one-liners, showing how it was supposed to be really funny, haha. And there are, I bet, like, especially by the second episode, it was touching some serious, heavy subjects.
right. So, I hope that there's some deeper humor in it than just what we saw in the trailer. But
Well,
I mean, given what we've
it's like-
seen,
Oh, sorry, I
Oh.
keep interrupting you. Sorry.
it's okay. So I think, given what we've seen so far, I'm okay with it.
Well, I'm thinking if it's by the guys that do Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty does, joke after joke after joke, but there's a huge meta moral almost going on the entire time of the episode that you may not even realize you're catching while watching it. And I'm hoping that if that's what happens for Star Trek, I mean, if this is now that I know this is fully going to be more of an adult series after that last scene in the trailer, I hope they do that kind of meta stuff for this show.
Well, that wasn't a surprise to me because they've been, I mean, if you've been following, I know you said at the beginning you really haven't.
Nope.
But from the very beginning, they said that Lower Decks was an adult cartoon, whereas the Nickelodeon cartoon is a kid's cartoon.
See, I must have confused it somewhere along the line because I thought this was going to be the Nickelodeon cartoon show.
No, there's two. There's still a Nickelodeon cartoon supposedly coming out, and that is going to be geared towards kids and released on
Okay.
Nickelodeon. This was always going to be an adult-focused cartoon.
Well, as I said, I've been avoiding as much as possible. This is the first time I've watched anything, even watched someone's video about it. Every time someone did a video about it, I was just like, nope, I'll wait. So I am a little disappointed that it is going to be more geared towards the adults, but because the animation style definitely is what would attract a kid.
I've never seen Rick and Morty, so
I have, and I know a lot of kids who watch it, and I'm
Hi.
surprised their parents let them do it.
Hi.
Hi, Catty.
Yeah, but I've raised you. I can let you watch something like that, and it's not going to bug you or offend you or something like that. I know, like, take your aunt, one of your aunts. I'm not going to say their name offhand, but could you imagine them letting their kids watch, letting at your age watch it? No.
Huh?
I was talking to Caddy. But I don't know if she's paying attention.
Yeah.
Caddy gets treated like an adult
Sometimes.
when
I'm
it comes
trying
to
to get her to
television.
act more like an adult. I'm forcing adulthood on her, and she does not like it.
I want to point this out. I wake up, watch one video, notice there's a live stream, join the live stream, reheat McDonald's fries that I found in the fridge, and then join the live stream.
Good. You should join the live stream, Catty. This is important.
Fries, your breakfast is worse than mine, and mine consists of nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol.
You're doomed, Caddy. You're doomed.
How is the person who's having nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol the more healthy eater for breakfast?
I mean, I also have the Star Spangled Ding Dongs next to me.
Oh, yeah. Found those at the dollar store yesterday when I was with her. And I was making a joke, Star Spangled Ding Dongs. And I'm like, must be the new name for Trump supporters. But yeah, I shouldn't be political on this thing. I'm going to not be like a lot of people. I might make the occasional joke, but
I just said that it would be the new name for Americans in general.
You see, now Caddy knows how to tell it. without being offensive.
Oh, what did she say? I missed it. I was reading Germ's comment.
It's the new name for Americans.
Only certain Americans.
That's the part you can keep to yourself. Well, you know the joke. No,
But see,
just
I
that you
disagree
know the
with her.
joke.
I like Rick and
and
Morty
it
because
it doesn't upset anyone.
Bird of prey is like is touch and is hurt. You hurt bird of prey. Stop
It didn't
that.
hurt me. It's just I don't care. I can take it.
well, I was just gonna say I disagree with Germ. I like Rick and Morty, and I think they really do really good jobs of handling complex topics that you never
Seriously, they
even
do.
noticed.
And also, funny, haha.
Funny.
And Richie,
Yes.
she's 16 years old. She is not a child anymore. She's a teenager. She needs to learn to grow up a little bit.
I'm tired.
Yes.
I don't want to be lectured. I've been up for less than 30
What was
minutes.
your excuse?
Don't say that on YouTube. You'll give bad ideas. There are some people a little bit twisted, you know. And not me.
You need to set your alarm for 6 a.m. every morning. That's a good time to get up.
Well, Richie, when you say that Rick and Morty is good, but they are not Star Trek and they need to stay separate, the Orville is very much infused with the humor of Seth MacFarlane and his other properties like Family Guy, American Dad, etc. A Star Trek, and it's still very, Star Trek influenced as well. It's basically Star Trek and Family Guy put together. This new thing is basically Star Trek and Rick and Morty put together. I can still see the humor being worth it. And plus, with an animated thing, I think you can do a lot more with an animated budget than you can with CGI or live action. So I think they might be able to do some stuff that we like seeing. So, Caddy, did you actually go and watch the trailer yet?
No.
Hey, Bird, can you post a link to the trailer in the chat at least, and we'll have Caddy go watch it, and we can get her opinion?
I don't care.
She doesn't care.
That's the issue, is that I got it as a file someone sent me. I don't know of any online source. I'm trying to get a copy uploaded somewhere where they're not going to care about copyright, but it takes a little time. I don't know if you have a source. My source was a
someone
file.
posted it in an Indie Record stream, so I copied the link then. Let me see if I can post it again. I don't know if I actually saved it in my clipboard, though, when I copied the link.
Gotcha. Well, if my thing works, it should be ready in a few minutes. It's just processing.
Oh, maybe I did save it. Or at least my phone did. All right, that's the link that someone sent me, and that's where I watched it at. It's definitely not a YouTube link.
Mhm.
So to ask you to sign something, don't do it. I don't think the Orville is inferior to Star Trek. I just think it's different. And Caddy would not grow up faster if I got her a phaser, Richie.
You don't know that.
Oh, it's vastly inferior to Star Trek Discovery. I'll just give it that.
Vastly superior to Star Trek Discovery. That's what you mean, right, Bird?
Oh, sorry. Yes, vastly superior to Star Trek Discovery. That's true. I wouldn't say it's inferior, vastly inferior to DS9, which would probably be like the top track.
And see, that's the thing. Deep Space Nine was the first Star Trek that actually had an overarching plot over the course of not only the entire series, but season to season. And
Resolute. That's exactly what I'm doing.
And that's what I think it's best. I like that kind of storytelling.
I like how I'm listening to this.
Binge watch.
I'm listening to this and I'm just thinking, like, what is going on? I get it, Star Trek. It's Star Trek meets Rick and Morty. I like Rick and Morty. I'm probably gonna like this.
Yeah, but you shouldn't like it just because it's made by the same guy who does Rick and Morty.
Just by the fact that the other show he made, which you showed me, I like. It's funny.
Yeah, the Hulu show that he did is not nearly as funny as Rick and Morty, though.
Oh, not nearly. Whatever he did with Rick and Morty, he is not doing for that one.
Yeah, I think I can't remember what's the name of it again. It's like
I don't remember the name of it.
There's a Hulu show. It's only on Hulu. It's a Rick and Morty show. Someone in the chat will probably remember the name of it that I can't remember. I mean, it's funny and all, but it's just, I don't know.
It's Diet Rick and Morty.
It's not only Diet Rick and Morty, it's more like Rick and Morty and Married with Children put together.
Yeah.
There was comics of Married with Children, made by Now Comics.
I didn't know that. I haven't watched Married with Children probably since it went off the air.
How did they draw Kelly in the comics?
I don't really know because I saw only the publicity in my comics from the Green Hornet made by Now Comics. So when we did a live stream watching my Green Hornet comics from the end of the 80s, the beginning of the 90s, we saw that there were a lot of but I can try to. I will try to see if they are like a publicity with the characters. That's the Green Hornet. I will find a pub and I will show you the draw.
Just listening to this, I'm just thinking, I'm more interested in playing Duel Links.
Oh, then you can go play Duel Links. Maybe if you do your tweet, I'll battle you afterwards.
I have two phones. I can both be on this and play Duel Links at the same time.
Yes, but you need to do. You're supposed to do one tweet a day, and you haven't done a tweet in over a week. You're really bad at your unpaid job.
Tired. Incompetent. Me actually failing to say something.
This is one of the publicity I have from the comics. Married with Children.
I don't know how Married with Children would work as a comic book. It's already boring. I mean, Archie Enough is boring as hell. I don't know how that survived. 60 years.
No, but it was old. That's at the end of the 80s.
Mm.
But I don't know that show at all. So I just know the name because I saw that in that comics from the Green Hornet. The Green Hornet is cool.
Yeah, and you remembered which issue it was in?
What?
And you remembered which issue it was in?
In the Green Hornet?
Yeah, like which issue had the preview? Or is it all of the Green Hornet?
There was a lot of there was a really big lot of publicities of that comic. So everywhere. So I just took one and I felt it. Like I got look at that. I have another of them.
Ah, now that one's better. Wait, put it closer. Yeah, that's about what I expected.
They
Back in the chat. Yeah, Richie, it's very obvious that Rick and Morty are twisted versions of Doc and Marty. I think that was made clear in episode 1. Oh, that was made clear in the opening theme song.
Put that just place. I need to go on the north side of the river today because I have some comics and doubles and I will sell to one of my friends. And after that, I will use the money to buy the number 46, 47, and 48 of Savage Short of Conan that arrived. I didn't already pick up because I was never on the north side. In fact, I've been on the north side, but when there was like all paydays, holidays, so everything was closed.
Just be careful when you start selling your doubles. That's how SD GameSwap started as a business.
Yeah.
If you don't know the story about how I started selling stuff, period, my younger brother was a drug addict, and he stole my video game collection. I mean, every game, every console, and he sold it on the street basically to get money for drugs. So as I went out to start rebuilding my collection, I would just go to like, again, thrift stores, swap meets, Craigslist, and I found it a lot cheaper just to buy someone else's entire collection than buy just the games by themselves, just a few games I wanted. So I would go out and I just buy all these collections, and then suddenly I had, doubles, triples, quadruples of the same game. And a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I'm selling at the swap meet, but I don't have enough stuff to fill up a space. Do you have any stuff you want to sell?" And I was like, "I've got a bunch of these video games. Let me go ahead and sell those." And I made a boatload of money that day. So I was like, okay, I can do this on the weekends to make extra cash.
Well, yeah. So to reduce my cost, this is what I'm doing. Sometime when it's happened when I bought the omnibus number 2 from Steve Files that made by 2000 AD with George Anderson is really hard to find, and the guys was putting a really high price. And I know that I will be unable to reduce the price. So I said to the guy, okay, include the shipping, but add me stuff that you look to want to sell and get rid of him. I get rid of them. And it was like all the trade paperback from the Shadow made by Dynamite that generally I had paid a lot of money, but finally trying to get rid of it. So include that, and the last Jonah Hex I was missing. But in the lot of the Shadow, there was Green Hornet, the Shadow I had already. So I will sell it back right now to my friend. So he's buying everything I have in double. Or we collect the same stuff, but he don't like go on eBay. So I'm able to reduce my cost a little bit like that when I'm buying bundles.
Well, that's one of the things I try to do when I'm on a lesser scale for the store. Is occasionally I'll throw like an extra item that's worthless or virtually worthless to entice someone to buy mine at the same price as someone else's. They think they're getting something for free. Like, for instance, I've got a copy of the JJ Star Trek game for Xbox 360, but I'm throwing in one of the little Hot Wheels of the Starship Enterprise in it with it, because I picked up that Hot Wheels ship for next to nothing. So that way, if I have the game at the same price and someone's saying, "Oh, I get the game," or "I get the game with the Hot Wheels," I'm going to pay for the one with the game and the Hot Wheels.
Do you sell PC games?
On occasion. I don't think I have anything right now, but if you go to the store, I believe there will be a category for other under video games, and you can look under there. That's where mostly the PC games will be.
Because now I'm sure I found on eBay something completely insane, because I'm doing my I'm one of my collection is like from items like promotion items are from Hooters, and I found video games for PC from 2002 named Hooters Road Trip. Like you have a car, you are doing a race, and if you're in the race, you have the possibility to hang out with the Hooter girls.
Alexander, I forgot. I do have this for PC, but it's Windows 95, and it's on the store.
Okay, you have it. What I need to do is I need an emulator for my Mac if I want to play with it. Something like that, I think.
No, you'd have to do a lot of changes to your to that game to get it to run on a Mac. I don't think it's technically Mac compatible. But I don't see any other computer-only games on there right now.
But that's the the video game I want for my collection.
Well, unfortunately, I don't tend to find specific games as much anymore. There used to be something I called the Game Swap Network, which was a bunch of resellers in the San Diego area that we would all try to help each other find specific games for our customers. But since then, Abel, Nintendo Dan, and my buddy Raphael all moved out of state or stopped selling. And the rest of the people were like, there was one place that actually had a brick and mortar that was part of it. And they basically became really big assholes and didn't want to deal with little sellers anymore, because now that they had 2 brick and mortar stores, they were suddenly the hot shit in town.
I can to buy. There are a lot of copy of that game on eBay. That's not a problem. Majority of them are for PlayStation 1. I don't have a PlayStation 1. There are some on PCs. But I will look which if I'm buying the PlayStation 1 or the PC's one just to put it in my collection, or if I will try to really get the computer one to be able to play on my computer, find a way to make it more compatible. At first, this is a collection item, so that's the first goal of it. But I don't know if a PlayStation. I'll cost a PlayStation 1. I know that they are like some games on PlayStation 1 I would like to. Oh, like on eBay they said we can buy one for $31. So maybe $25. So there are a possibility to buy a used PlayStation 1 for very cheap, maybe close to my home. I'll think about it.
All right, I just want to go back to the chat for a little bit. Germ, you might technically be right in that situation. They're getting the Hot Wheels ship and getting the game for free, except for the game is actually worth more than the Hot Wheels ship, even if it's only $10 versus $3. And Richie, yeah, you're basically right. Lower Decks is basically a strange blend of all that kind of stuff. Cinnabon, I think the Orville is only overrated in that regard because people compare it to Discovery so much, and then they praise Orville so much and hate on Discovery, and that's why it's like that. And you're right. And Richie, the holodeck is correct. You know, I like the fact that they used the simple one from Next Generation and not the weird BS they had in Voyager. But to go back to the Star Trek games, this is not on the store yet. I don't know if I can get it to be seen in the light as much. Can you guys see it? Because it's reflecting off my phone screen when I show it to the camera. But it's Star Trek Encounters for the PlayStation 2. This is like the only Star Trek game I've never played. And I really want to try to play it before I sell it. Because I guess you take, and part of it, if it's the one I think it is, you take command of.
Before it gets hot.
Is this the one where you take command of the Excelsior for most of the thing? I don't remember. Either way, I know I haven't played it.
Oh, she's so.
But yeah, there's also. What else did I pick up? I may have showed these off already. But these are going to go up. I don't know if I'm going to put these up as on the store yet, or I might use them as prizes for something I'm planning on doing later. But it's just old PC versions of Star Trek, the Encyclopedia.
Dad.
Yep. What, sweetheart?
I have to go because I have to go walk the dog.
All right. Have fun, sweetheart. Don't do anything stupid.
Bye, Cathy. Bye, Cathy.
Take care.
Thank you,
Gordon.
all of you.
Star Trek, The Companion, which has all the trailers on the disc. So every episode's trailer is on that disc, which is actually kind of cool. And then, of course, you might like this one, Alexander, because you're a Voyager and 7 of 9 fan. The Elite Force game and expansion to it. The reason I have it covered up is because it's got the product key underneath there. And I don't know if the product key is still good, so I don't want to necessarily be posting that.
Oh,
But I'm either going to post those to the store or I'm going to use those as a prize for something I'm planning to doing, like a Jeopardy, but for nerd stuff. I got to figure out a way to have the categories and be able to be picked and X'd out or something.
There's a because I was thinking of that one time too, but then I got lazy. There's a PowerPoint Jeopardy presentation out there. I forgot where I downloaded it, but it's out there somewhere. If you Google PowerPoint Jeopardy, that
Except I don't have
has it all
PowerPoint on my
set up, and
computer.
you just have to fill in the questions.
Yeah, except I don't actually have PowerPoint on this computer.
Oh, well, it might work on Google, whatever their version. It might open.
Well, I right now I've got I got it set up though, so there'd be 4 shows with 4 questions apiece, and I want to get like 3 people up on a live stream like this, and winner gets a stupid little prize of something I can't sell or is not worth trying to sell, and then doing the same thing in next month or something like that, making it a monthly thing unless it gets popular. But I was thinking like a lame first prize would be something like this book. I put a piece of gum in my mouth and part of it went down the wrong pipe.
don't die. Don't die. Please stay alive.
Since I'm not doing the nicotine aspect, I've been chewing on gum and I put a new piece in my mouth and part of it just went down the wrong pipe.
That's not a good thing.
I'm gonna die here.
We don't want to see you die.
It wouldn't be the first time someone died on YouTube. But yeah, like the only reason this is something that I would put up there is that it was a whole collection of a whole collection of Star Trek books. And this one was like the most beat up at the time, and I was getting like the whole series at the time. Star Trek books were numbered, and I had like 3 copies of this one. So right now that one's all by its lonesome. But yeah, it would be the prize would be something, as I said, for fairly lame but still geek related. And no, I'm hoping the book does not come with the cough, Richie. Because I don't think having something go down your windpipe when you is contagious. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or what?
Now we can speak about the game I'm playing, because your daughter lived, so I can speak about the new game I found that is a pornographic equivalent of Mafia War. It's named Cunt Empire. You should play to that. It's very interesting.
Alexander, I have barely had time to play Fallout 4 in the last 2 years. I've been trying to beat it. I've played about 20 hours in 2 years. I don't have time to play video games. Most of the time I'm doing it as it's...
That's the only good reason to not play to that.
Oh, and Richie, most of the stuff is used, but I occasionally find some new stuff because I do business with other resellers. And sometimes people that buy new products, I'll buy some of the stuff off of them. Like, I don't know if you can see down. Let's see. Nope.
See.
But I've got some player's guides that are all brand new down there. See the red ones at the edge of the table? Those are all brand new player's guides. that I picked up a long time ago, a majority of which have already sold.
Until 5.
I get a couple of games that are new every once in a while, or at least if new, by that I mean factory sealed. In fact, I just sold some factory sealed Super Nintendo games last week.
Yeah, there are factory seals of the Outer games, but it's so much expensive. I don't understand why people are buying something like that. I mean, it's so much expensive that what you need to pay, like.
Well, it's the collectability factor of having something that old that is still factory sealed. I mean, the most expensive game that I can think of is Stadium Events. And literally an opened copy versus an unopened copy is like $5,000. So literally the saran wrap on that game is worth more than the game itself.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I agree, it is crazy, but as someone who sells, I'd rather have more money out of it than not.
No, but as a seller, you play the game. I mean, you go by the system. If you find something that have a highest value, you go search the value. I mean, I understand you, but it's still that if we consider.
What's funny is, like, as someone who sells, my own collection is now dwindled to like the most beat up versions of the stuff that I have, because I basically want to keep a copy around for myself just to play. A good example is my copy of Fallout New Vegas that I use for my Xbox 360 at home actually has a crack in the disc, but the crack doesn't go into the encoding, and I put basically the equivalent of duct tape on the disc to keep it from breaking further. And it's held together, but it still plays, and it's been played ever since I've got it. And you know, but those are the ones I keep for myself. My copy of Legend of Zelda is no longer a pristine in the box copy. The copy I keep for myself is a beat up one that has the label ripped off and looks like it got chewed by a dog, but it still works, so I keep it for myself.
Yes, I mean, personally, it's like when the people buy action figure to keep them in the box. I mean, this is action figure. They will not see a lot of action in the box.
All right, for Richie, he was asking, how is the price for the anti-tracker ship determined? All right, the quote-unquote free shipping on that, and I'll give you a little hint on anyone who sells on Amazon or eBay. The shipping, when it says free, is always included in the price. And the shipping for that type of thing is about $10. So that's $10 of what the price is right there. When it came to how much, he figured out how much for the cost of the resin and the like electricity cost to run it for several hours, the printer for several hours to actually print the things. That came to like $15-20. So everything else is basically what the time it took he's adding for designing the stuff, or his time spent, and of course my time spent posting it and maintaining everything on that end. So it might seem like $50 is a lot of money for something like that, but 75% of that is just the cost of making it. And also remember, part of that cost is included for the fact that eBay takes their cut, and PayPal or whatever you pay your thing with also takes a cut. So say it's like, I think it's at $50. As soon as it sells, eBay takes about 10% of that sale price. So it sells for $50. The amount we actually get is about $45. And then PayPal takes an additional 10% off of that. Or if it's a credit card company, they charge us like a fixed amount based on the credit card company.
Oh, shit.
So sometimes that could be like $1.75 to $4.50 on top of that. So at a $50 item, you're only getting that say $40 out of that sent to us. And then, of course, the shipping on top of that, so that's another $10. So now we're only getting $30. And then, of course, as I said, the materials for everything was about $15 to $20. So now the profit margin is actually only in the $10, and that's still the time it takes. That's what we're paying ourselves as the time it takes to do everything. And a majority of that goes to AnyTracker.
But anyway,
95% of that is going to AnyTracker.
there are people sending that money on Patreon and receive nothing in exchange. So I don't know why people are complaining. So yeah, they have the joy to support to support Michael. That was fair. Right? I want to say,
yeah,
when you support him monthly on Patreon, you just support him. You don't have an item in exchange. And now people, they give the money one time, and they get an item at the same time. So pretty surprised that people wanting to support Michael are complaining on the price. Nobody forced them to buy it.
Well, instead of somebody giving him a $50 super chat, they can get a spaceship.
Yeah, but at the $50 super chat amount, he would still get more money out of it. This, as I said, the act of actually making and designing the ship is part of the fun process for him. He's not doing it necessarily to make a boatload of money. He's doing it because it's something he enjoys. Same with my shop. I don't make a lot of money from my shop. I literally pay myself $50 a week for my out of my shop every week. I put a lot more time and effort into the store every week than $50 worth. If you include, what is minimum wage now? About $10 an hour federally. That would be 5 hours of work, and I probably put 20 to 25 hours a week, if not more, into my business every week.
So you're in violation of the minimum wage laws.
Technically, no, because as the CEO of my company, my salary pay is $1 a year. Then I 1099 myself as a general contractor. As a general contractor, I get paid per job, and the one item in my job title for that, or my job duties for that, is maintaining the website for a 30-day period.
So you are a good CEO.
No matter how many hours I work doing that one task is all I get paid for.
You are a good CEO. You don't take money. That's good. Should continue like that.
No, I had to do it that way. Otherwise, I'd actually end up taxing myself out of business. if my quote unquote CEO, actually it's just owner, because it's not a publicly funded, not publicly funded. What's the term? What's it when you have stock?
Publicly traded.
Thank you. I'm just a flat out owner. And if I was paid the owner wages, even at minimum wage, I'd actually pay myself more than the business is worth, and the business would go under. And I even know some people have small businesses that operate at a loss every year, because if they include how much they pay themselves, they're suddenly operating at a loss. And that's just for one person.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Atlanta, Georgia. So now I'm watching for the Outer pins with a tank, and it's look that on eBay there are only 4 of them, and I have 2 of them. So the collection of Outer pins with tanks will be complete.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
I will show to you what I'm collecting. We'll open the camera. The real fan will live.
Now, we can also do something like
That's
like this particular book, which I reposted recently. I have a bunch of these ones. I'm actually going to be selling these at a loss, mostly because they've dropped insanely in value since I picked them up. But the hope is I'm selling at such a low price that the person will give me positive feedback no matter what I sell them for.
Oh, that's a strategy. That's a strategy.
So, and so far, since I reposted them, I've had 2 sales of them. Both the people gave me positive feedback. So I'm willing to lose a little bit of money for the positive feedback because I want that number to increase and still maintain my 100% positive feedback.
I have 100% positive feedback as a buyer.
Yeah, Richie's right. Hey, Bird, can you loan me a couple of orphans from the mines so I can have them work the shop for me? Maybe they could work Twitter and post something every day instead of the Vile Child. I don't know if Bird heard. Maybe he's out.
I had the microphone muted. Sorry. I was saying that the orphans, they're really only good at uranium extraction. We don't do a lot of other job training.
They are.
Twitter can't be that hard to manage, right? They could make a tweet every day, right?
I was sure you were sleeping.
No, not sleeping.
Because you sleep a lot on.
All right, I got a question for y'all. All right, that's Wonder Woman's armpit. Does that mean she's got a hairy armpit, or is that just artists doing extra lines?
I guess it's just supposed to be shadow.
Well, she is an Amazon. I don't imagine they have a lot of time to shave under their arms all the time.
Why, they shave their legs just fine.
Well, that could also be genetic. There's a lot of people that don't naturally grow hair on their legs versus, or at least hair that you can't see. But underarms tend to be very visible and wiry hair.
Fuck. Oh my God, so good.
What are you talking about, Alexander?
I found like a seller specialized in Hooters pins on eBay. That person had like all the Hooter pins in the fucking history to sell. They are like Hooter girls, nurses, Hooter girls racing car, NASCAR, Hooter girls play a baseball player, all the pins can imagine. Like Hooter girls vampire for Halloween, kitchen training.
So I'm guessing you're a real big Hooters fan.
I'm a big Hooter friends. I collect stuff from Hooters. That there were one on a bike. I cannot buy all that stuff. I will ruin myself. They are too much.
You know, I've only been to Hooters once in my entire life, and that was for a bachelor party.
What? New authentic Hooter girls 83 Chicago football jersey, small uniform. I cannot wear it, but damn, that's an item. There are so much Hooters items I never saw that. What the fuck? This is like each restaurant with a Hooter girls cheerleader. I can't believe it.
I'll take your word for it. To me, usually the waitresses are the least popular thing at Hooters. Most people go there for the wings, which are not that good anyway.
I like the wings there, but I was eating burger mostly there. And that's it. I was eating burgers, and I have friendship with Violeta, the wonderful Belarusian Hooter girls that was in Moscow. And
wait, there's a Hooters in Moscow?
Yes, there are Hooters, and there are Hooters Russia. There are Hooters in Moscow. This is where I was going to Hooters all the time.
I gotta get going, guys. I'll see you around a little later, but I'm gonna head out for a few minutes.
All right, later,
Talk to
Bird.
you later, guys. Kapla.
Have a good time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Richie. The Tilted Kilt has much better girls than Hooters.
I don't know. The other restaurant of that kind that I tried, it was in Kazan. I was surprised to find a guy in Kazan bought a franchise of Twin Peaks restaurant, and it was great. I mean, each hour, like the waitress, they are dancing. That's what the fucking crazy. I mean, there was like there was the taxidermist like animals everywhere. When you got entering in the restaurant, there was like a big bear, a real one, like that being done by a taxidermist. It's like if you are like in a man cave. That's completely insane. I like it really much, that restaurant. And the burger there, it was like so huge. The meat, completely insane. You try to put it in your mouth, and I mean, it's complicated to eat that shit.
Have you ever been to a place called Fuddruckers?
I don't know what it is. Me. When I ate in the American restaurant, the majority of the time it was outside of the United States. I have not been in the United States since 1995.
Okay. Well, I don't know about other parts of the country exactly, but we've got a couple of Fuddruckers here, and they make some pretty big burgers themselves.
I wanted to go to the they are a restaurant in the United States. I saw that in a video where the waitress, they are dressed as nurses, as sexy nurse. I wanted to go there. It's completely insane.
I'm sorry, that just seems. I don't know if I'd want to go to a place that serves food and where the women are dressed like nurses, because I'm afraid the food is going to taste like hospital food.
And like this is completely idiotic. If you are waiting, I think there's something like, if you are waiting over 300 pounds or 400 pounds, you are eating free there.
Oh, that reminds me of there used to be this all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant in San Diego. They went out of business a few years ago, but I loved going to that place because they had some of the best sushi in town. But when they first opened up, you had to pay as much for, if you were the fatter you are or the taller you were, the more you had to pay. So like when I went in, I'm 6'2", and at the time I was about 250 pounds. It cost me like $30 to eat there, whereas my mom, who went with me, because she's like 5 foot nothing and 200 pounds at the time, I think, maybe less, I don't remember. They charged her like $20 to get in.
I bring my Asian Muslim wife born in USSR. She will eat close to for free.
Well, after like the first year of operations, they got rid of that because people were complaining too much. But that also meant like the basic meal was now, just to get into the place and eat was like $35 for everybody, no matter what now.
Me, I didn't care for NASCAR before Hooters. But
all right, hold on, Cinnabon. What do you mean by that? All food in the strip club tastes like seafood. Is that because it all has a fishy smell, or is that because of the prevailing fishy smell? Is that what you're trying to get at? But that way I can pull over and he can just keep coming back. Sorry, I'm trying to now actually leave the storage unit, but the road's blocked off because people are trying to pull in. Big U-Haul truck is in front of me, backing up slowly.
Backing up slowly.
No worries.
Oh, there are a shooter glass with Hooter girls on it. That's cute. Yeah,
that's one of the things I don't like about a lot of people in here, around here, is they get mad if oh, how dare they block the way? And it's like, just calm down, be patient. You'll get through eventually. You don't have to be in a rush all the fucking time. And all right, I'll be right back, Alexander. Unfortunately, you're in charge for the next 20 seconds.
Okay. So yeah, it will maybe follow itself. I mean, the channel will auto destruct because of that. No, that's a joke. Don't worry, guys. I'm there, guys. I'm here. Don't worry about it.
I just had to put the gate code in, which meant I got to get out of the car.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, that's why I turned the camera off, is so I could walk down to the car. And now I'm gonna go park in the shade for a little bit and finish the stream.
So
somewhere where I can actually smoke.
All my friends, all of you, I will take that time to do some promotion because I have a Discord channel, and this is the best Discord channel in the entire history. And I know that some people like Sci-Fi Guy or Richie Pool here, or even Vile Mike himself, are not on that Discord channel. You should be on that Discord channel. It's a great Discord channel. That's the best Discord channel ever.
I'll take your word for it. I don't do Discord that much, other than to spy on the Vile Child.
So you should come to the Discord channel where we are speaking about Hooters, where we can see the picture of my Asian Muslim wife born in USSR being the best choice, because there's some people saying that she doesn't exist. Was pretty weird. I mean, I'm the only person on YouTube that people pretend, oh, your wife doesn't exist. I mean, you wake up in the morning and you decide that the wife of someone else doesn't exist. Wow. I mean, you sniff soap, my guy. You are sniffing soap. That's not healthy sniffing soap. You should stop that. Soap is to wash stuff yourself, or kind like your clothes or stuff, or your. But don't sniff soap, please. Don't do that. It's like the Momo challenge. Don't do that, okay? You don't do the Momo challenge. Don't sniff soap. Please don't do that. Because when
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I like Cinnabon's answer. I only join Discord servers so people stop asking. That's probably what I should do, Cinnabon, is just join just so they'll stop asking me.
Yes, that's you should do that, Vile. And yes, soap smells nice, as Cinnabon Bunny said, but you should not sniff soap, because when you sniff soap, you are doing a lot of weird stuff, like voting for Donald Trump, for example. But you also are like thinking that the wife of someone doesn't exist. I mean, it's like, oh, the wife of that guy doesn't exist, I think. I will spread that information. My name is Captain Redneck. So please.
Alexander, I think you're going crazy again.
Don't.
So if someone else wants to join the stream, we need to balance out the sane and the crazy.
Okay. So please don't sniff soap. And in that case, you'll stop to say that my wife doesn't exist. She is existing. And people say, why we don't see her on YouTube? At first, she's living in Moscow. 7 hours later is at all of us. After that, this is not the entire humanity that is like us, loser, always in the front of our computer, watching streaming and speaking.
You have to understand, Alexander, you have to understand there's a trope in American film and books and stuff.
Yes.
Where someone will claim to have a girlfriend that lives, in another state or in another country, but they don't actually exist.
Oh, okay.
So when they see that trope in fiction, they assume that trope must exist in the real life as well. So and I'm sure there's people that think that Mrs. Vile isn't a real person either, because she's, she never appears on the streams or in the videos. Well, she appeared in one video, just her voice, but that could have been faked or something like that. I don't know.
No,
but yeah.
The Christ, there are nobody that said like Mrs. Vile Mike doesn't exist and like speak about it all the time. but there are people that made it their personal narrative, like my wife doesn't exist. I mean, they need to that. They are not able. I think there are some people unable to accept that that a Quebecois, a white Quebecois, speaking Russian will marry with an Asian Muslim wife born in USSR being the best choice. And some people saw the picture and said, "This is impossible. Whoa, it can't be your wife. It's impossible." What?
Well, it could also be that they're just trying to troll you,
I,
and I'm sure that happens a lot.
But some people want to troll me, but some people are piece of shit too. I mean, this is they are the people that want to laugh. That's not a problem. Jokes are jokes, but people spreading fake news just to show me as an idiot. That's not funny. That's not funny at all. That's the
I do like Cinnabon's response. I have a girlfriend in 15 countries. I've just never met them yet.
Yes, but me, I met my wife. I was 4 years with her in Moscow, and now we are battling with immigration system. And you know, Val, what is immigration fucking system?
Yeah, that's because Mrs. Vial is also not an American citizen. She's a citizen of Mexico, so it's making things hard to just go down to see her because the current administration that will not be named is making it very hard for me to get my passport to go down to see her. And they're also not allowing her to come up to see me because even though she has a visa.
Yes, but the current administration in the United States eating feces and pretend to people that this is vegetable. So,
they're not eating feces, but I mean, don't make me defend an administration I don't necessarily support in full. Although I do like Fauci. He seems like to be the trope. Again, I like talking about tropes in film and stuff. There's always the one sane man. That almost seems like that's what trope Fauci is fulfilling in the current administration.
That's you speak about the doctor about COVID-19. I mean, I think he have been trapped at that story. I mean, they wanted someone to that will. They wanted someone to show that they tried to do something, and he accepted the job because he wanted absolutely to do something and save life. That what I understand from him, but obviously doesn't look to agree with the insane people that hire him.
Oh, but what's funny about that is I've actually had certain family members post things on Facebook like Fauci is the Antichrist.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, really?
But I mean, we have that kind of nuts here. I mean, and that not generally are people following like Facebook page, translate Facebook page translating the EDSEs from the far right Facebook page from the United States. Like, actually, all that shit are exported on our side. And translate and exported in our side. But as we have a lot of nuts here and they are really noisy on internet, on your side, I mean, it's looked to be a pure nightmare. I mean, I cannot be on Facebook without seeing like a video of a nut job like screaming. Like yesterday it was a guy, a Trump supporter, like a blonde, fat piece of shit in his truck screaming about a guy that was just in his own truck, that they will come bring back Trump and all that stuff. I never saw in my life here someone stopping in his car and yelling like an insane idiot like that his prime minister will win. I mean, what the fuck is going on in your country? I mean,
well, I just want to go back to the chat for a little bit. Cinnabon says that the new press secretary is cute. I don't know if I've seen her or know her name. But Richie says she's from Fox News. But again, that's not one of the. I don't really watch cable news shows anyway. But Cinnabon also says I'd let her brief me. I wonder if he actually means I'd let her debrief you. But
It's not always that
Or
good.
would you rather debrief her? But I'm bummed.
Always good jokes. But Cinnamon always has a good joke. But the fact is that I don't know how you are living with that. I mean, I can't. I've been in Russia. This is really, really different that Quebec in many ways. And I saw a lot of stuff that for me was weird. But I was waiting for that. So I have not been surprised by what I saw in Russia, even if I was shocked when I was seeing it. It was not a surprise for me that that exists, and then I crossed that. I was waiting for it. So generally, I don't have like an imaginary. I mean, I have enough knowledge about what's going on in other countries to not create myself like a fantasy world about what happened there. What I'm saying about the United States right now, I mean, I can't imagine myself to be it's quiet in my truck with a stick on it and see like a Trump not going yell it at me like a fucking insane, knowing that he has a R-15 is a fucking truck. I mean, all you can live with that. All you can live with that shit. It's I mean, here it will be considered as a civil war if you were in that situation. I mean, people were like hiding in their basement 24 hours a day if we were at this point.
Well, the only thing I would say is, I see a lot of groups of Biden supporters, Trump supporters, Bernie supporters, that kind of stuff. But I've only had one group of a certain people wearing a political party that they or a political candidate that they particularly enjoyed harass me and call me a race traitor for dating a Mexican woman.
Okay, and this is
now. I'm not going to say what group that is, but I'm sure you could figure out which political candidate they were wearing on their shirts and other apparel.
That's absolutely insane. That's completely insane. Like,
and in my opinion, if you can justify the fact that that political candidate has supporters that say stuff like that, and you also support that same person, there might be some sort of cognitive dissonance going on. Like if a white supremacist is supporting a certain political candidate and you support that same political candidate, you might want to look at why you're actually supporting that person.
Wow. No, because I know that I will not have that kind of so much problem because the fact that my wife is Asian, that kind of fucking ignorant thinks really much that Muslim are all Arabs. That I don't know now why between the brain full of worms, they think that every Muslim are Arab. So my girlfriend is Asian, so she will walk on the streets and nobody will knows that she's Muslim. But if I will date an Arab girls or girls from Maghreb, example, I mean, we will have that kind of piece of shit that will say, "Oh, you are a traitor. Oh, you will be assimilated by Muslims. Oh, your kids will be Muslim." But that amount of people is so small here that I'm pretty sure I will live it one time or maybe two if I'm unlucky. But in the end,
hold on. I want to go to the chat real quick about what Germ said. He said he's gotten stuff like that from Bernie Bros, and yeah, there are some members of that support, as I said, a certain political party or candidate that can get really fervent in their beliefs, regardless of whether what candidate you're talking about. And yeah, sometimes they take it to an extreme, and I think that's the wrong thing to do. I don't think the extremes on either side are what we should be focusing on. I think we should focus more on compromise and going the middle of the road.
On the far left, we have nut jobs. I mean, we have nut jobs on the far left, really, really much.
Alexander, you're. A lot of people consider you one of those far left nut jobs. Hell, they consider me one of those far left nut jobs, despite the fact that I'm not I'm a registered independent. I don't vote either party.
But I'm a far left. I'm not a nut jobs because people. I mean, there are some people think that I'm not jokes because I'm doing jokes like I did like on the DJ Odyssey before 2 days ago and all that stuff. On political point, far right will say that I'm a nut jobs, but yes, I'm a far left. But the people don't understand that the people are mixing up far left and lefties. What lefties is a really specific time of people, anarchists and Maoists that don't participate in any way to the election process. Like they reject the election process and they think this is only on the streets that you are able to do politics, and only by internet lynching you do it. And people that are hardcore on identity politics, I don't say the majority of people in identity politics, but you have a little French branch of people in identity politics. Like example, I said that on Twitter, I said that I will not watch Bird of Praise, the movie, because the only character that is interesting for me is Black Canary, and the character there, I was not able to recognize Black Canary on the poster. All the character is completely different from everything, like the airs, they are nothing similar. And there are people, they are like nut jobs on Twitter say, oh, this is because you don't want to see black people in movies. I mean, fuck you. I mean, shit. There are so much movie I like where black characters have an important role. I just don't want to see that movie specifically. But that kind of little lynch mobs that finally act the same way that the far right people are the nut job and often are the leftists. I am a far left. I'm a Marxist. So I'm a far left. That's yes. Trotsky was a far left and Lenin was far left. They were not lefties because they were supporting activities in the election process. They were against the systematic boycott of the election from the communist parties and all that stuff. But people mixed up the stuff. But personally, I'm a Marxist. I'm a far left. I assume it. But I mean, generally, this is not on the far left. You find the nut jobs. The nut jobs are generally for the mass majority. What we see, the insane people, they are on the leftists. Well, the leftists are completely like they are the equivalent of Trumpers, but on the other side.
I think the problem is the people that get the most airtime on YouTube or on the news or something are the far right and the far left nut job types. They're the ones that get the press coverage because, you know, they're so far outside the norm. That's what the news has to prescribe to. And they play it off as someone on that far right or far left nut belief system is what everyone on the left or everyone on the right actually believes in. And if you support the right, you must believe all the harsh nut job stuff on either or on the left. Either way, you must, because you identify as left. Oh, you must go all the way to the extreme, or if you're on the right, you must go all the way to the extreme. And in fact, I don't even like the whole idea of saying the right or the left because it's alienating an entire group of your own country. And it's basically doing this whole us versus them mentality, the left versus the right, Republicans versus Democrats, all that kind of stuff. It's making everything in this country more antagonistic. And that's what's not what this country needs. This country needs a lot more compromise. This country was founded on compromise. Even if some of those compromises were horrific, and I'm referring specifically like to the 3/5 compromise, but it still saved the country to actually be formed at the time.
But the problem is, while that, and I will really speak as a Marxist, that there are only one real division, only one real division that matters. That's class division, and not class like as the people say, oh, they are the middle class. At some point, that a little bit more the money of that, and no, the real what is class struggle. What I mean, Fox News are so insanely afraid to speak about. That's different by what we name the proletariat, the people that have only their have only they're forced to work to sell, and the what like Bernie Sanders called the billionaires, so the people that own the business, and in fact has the power on all that massive people. When the like Occupy was speaking about the 99% and the 1%, it was the people that was a closer of the real division that exists. All the rest, this is tricks. This is like division between the working class that the ruling class are throwing, and they put gas light on the fire to divide to conquer, to divide to rule, and all that stuff. And this is where the problem, this is a really big problem in the United States, is where the situation is completely chaotic on the political point of view, and people look to understand nothing of what happened and why you have, so crazy stuff happening, is that you have so much, all the divisions exist, all the divisions are used, all the divisions I speak, people are fighting each other on everything. The only fight that really matters, that fight that between the working class and the ruling class, nobody wants to touch it because they are so much traumatized by what they hear about Marxism and communism that they don't want to touch that, and they are fighting on all the rest. And at the end of the day,
let's put this back. Let's pull this back to the topic that was originally at hand about the lower decks.
Yes, let's
Some
go.
of the stuff I've seen about people talking about the lower decks is I'm not going to watch the lower decks because it's new Trek, and new Trek is basically everything since the original JJ verse. And if you happen to like something that's a new Trek, that must mean you like everything about new Trek. And it's like, no, you can like things on a case-by-case basis. I personally liked Discovery, except for the Michael Burnham character, except for the bad ship designs that didn't fit with canon, or the technology that fit with canon. But I didn't hate the show for, I know, all the time it was on for every episode and every second of the show. I didn't hate Picard. I liked certain aspects of Picard. I liked certain aspects of the JJ film, but personally, I think Into Darkness was one of the worst Star Trek films of all time. Annie Trekker, on the other hand, thinks that one was one of the best films out of the 3 JJ films. But just because I like one thing does not mean you like the entirety of it.
Yes, but the problem is that, as I said, there are people, they want to politicize things that should not be, and the only thing is that people that should be politicized are not. And at the end of the day, the debate is all about stuff that doesn't matter. And what matters is just not speak about. What made the success of Bernie Sanders, even if he didn't win, what's made him so popular so quickly, because remember in the first election against Clinton, I mean, nobody knows outside of Vermont who he was, and just become like a, and even if the medias didn't put really much camera on it, they were giving to Trump like 4 hours for free of his.
The thing is, I was trying to pull it back to Star Trek related stuff. Let's try to keep it. Let's try to shy away from the politics as much as possible.
Okay.
I know we talked about it for a little bit, and I was letting it go on, but
that's fine. But I just said that the problem with Star Trek and all that stuff actually on the internet and all like the YouTubers that are like in war with this and war with that.
Yeah, it's again, it's that us versus them mentality. If it's old Trek versus new. If you like one aspect of new Trek, you have to like all aspects of new Trek. If you like old Trek, you must like all aspects of old Trek.
But this is on Matt.
Have you seen with the reviews that we've been doing for the original series? Caddy Knight and I have basically said that most of the episodes that we've watched are not necessarily all that good, except for so far Balance of Terror. That was like the best out of all the episodes we watched. It was the only one that was that made the most sense. It had the best plot. So out of, I think that was episode 14. So out of 14 episodes, one was really good. The rest were kind of meh.
I know, but what I just say to you is that there are some people, they want absolutely they want absolutely to transform the subjects of movie that are only entertainment, by the way, movies like sci-fi movies, all that stuff. They want to transform it in a political war, and they want to use it and create clan that they can mobilize for other things. They bring people in fight that don't matters. It doesn't matter to fight over Star Trek each other. It's completely ridiculous. Me personally, I don't like the new comics. I like the comics from the 90s. I like the bad girls, sex and violence. This is what I want to see.
That's one thing I have to disagree with you with. I think the 90s had some of the worst comic books in, especially Marvel, Image. It's like every character had to be a copy of Wolverine or Cable or Deadpool or Batman. It was, and it was always the dark and grim Batman, not, the campy or, the fun Batman.
But this is what I like personally, and I will not argue with you. The only thing that personally I like, I'm not buying the new comics. I'm buying the stuff from the 90s. I'm buying Razors. I'm buying all the bad girl stuff. This is what I like, and I don't lose my time creating wars against people that want to read kid stuff comics or the new identity politic comics where everybody's crying. They are so much human and sensible, I have no time to do that. I have my
I remember in the 90s, one of the things I used to collect a lot of were the old comic book cards like Fleer and, the Marvel Medals collection and stuff. And there were so many times there'd be a card that I didn't have because I'd never seen it before, and it featured a character that was only popular for like 30 seconds, but they got their own card. And now I've got some shitty character that in my collection that, I don't give a shit about personally. But the only reason I have in my collection is because I want to have the entire collection. But, and again, in the 90s, there was a lot of those characters. They were just pumping out new character, and they were all just bad imitations of characters that already existed.
No, yes, I mean, this is like, Marvel, Spawn was a ripoff of Venom, that's a fact, but after that, Spawn went his own way, and he started from a ripoff to become a real original characters, and when he got success, Marvel tried to rip off Spawn, but that characters didn't work really much. I mean, they died from themselves. As a lot of characters based only on an identity politic right now will die and will just not be there really much in 5 or 10 years. It will just go away. You will not see them anymore. That's the point. But on the other way, I'm more in independent comics from the 90s. I like Razors from London Night Publishing. I like characters from Antarctic Press that nobody knows what it is really much, outside of the independent comic publisher, Chaos Comics, all that stuff. This is what I like.
All right, Alexander, hold on a sec. There seems to be a lot of tapping coming from when you're talking. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I know what it is. Sorry, I mean, I try to accelerate the processes to upgrade my bordel in Content Buyer, and for that I need to tap and get more money. So sorry.
All right, it just I don't know if anyone else in the chat was hearing it, but it did seem a little annoying to me.
No, people say that's annoying. It's like a reflex. I'm playing that. I cut the sound because I wanted to play at the same time, and I always forgetting that people are hearing the tap of the tap mouse on the computer. So I start to accelerate the processes, and someone said, "Hey, what is the tapping?" I'm so surprised because I barely hear it myself, so I don't really understand why the microphone, hearing it so strong. That's weird. Anyway, I will stop. I will let all my sex business.
And Richie, me and Caddy are not wrong in our reactions to TOS. Our reactions are our own, so they can't possibly be wrong. Your interpretation of our reactions could be considered wrong, but yeah, they are our interpretation, so we're not technically wrong. It's just that you feel that we're wrong. We are actually the ones that are right.
Richie Poole, I'm really glad that what you are writing. We'll not start again the political discussion, but I'm really glad that you think like that. Well, yes, I was sending Richie. I was sending a secret code to you. That the secret code, you didn't understand it. It was join my Discord channel, please. Join my Discord channel, please. It was the message. And another of the message I was sending in the secret code was, what the fuck, where is the guy that was supposed to help me for the mission in Lone Tree, Colorado? I have no news from him for 3 days. That he screwed me or that he was really wanted to do the mission. But that's the two things, the two messages I was sending.
Cinnabon, if you're still here, why don't you join up real quick and you can tell us why you don't want to watch Lower Decks? I mean, what about it is just not interesting to you? Because, as I said, I think the humor is interesting enough because I do like the Rick and Morty style humor. I don't know if I want it the way it's portrayed in as a Star Trek show, especially a canon Star Trek show. But I do want to see it just for that kind of stuff.
I have no wrench on your channel, so can you share the invitation for my Discord channel in the chat yourself? I will put it in the
You can try because I'm doing it through StreamYards right now. I can't post that. I can't make anyone a wrench right now.
It work,
but
it work. It's like if you are not. I have no wrench, but I
try posting it in the private chat, and I'll see if I can copy it and post it.
I put it in the public chat, and YouTube accepted. What he doesn't do,
yeah,
really.
Yeah, if you don't have a wrench, and you even like put the word sub or subscribe or go to, okay, sometimes they'll nix the entire thing, and I won't even see it.
But I was surprised that he accept. I just put the link. And I was surprised that it doesn't generally. Jerry doesn't accept link too, but he just took it. I mean,
yeah. Try posting it in the private chat, and I'll see if I can copy it and post it myself.
He's right there. I will put it in the private chat too, but I have the impression that he published it. But I don't. I will wait to see in live comments. If he appear, because it doesn't appear, so I don't know if he has blind block. Generally, when the chat is blocking something, he give you a note, say you can publish that or something like that. But it didn't happen.
No, I haven't seen it actually do that. It usually just deletes the comment entirely, unless it gets approved by a mod. And I don't think I have anyone with a wrench right now that can do that.
No, so anyway, now is in the chat, so people can go there if they want. If you have Discord with your pool, you should join. We will have fun.
Oh, I forgot I could do that whole thing. I was checking to see if I could make someone a wrench from here, but I can't do it.
I will do it the next time. That's not an emergency in a way. You'll stream it from your home.
That's one of the bad things about trying to do this from your phone or streaming through StreamYards on your phone is you don't have as much control over things.
So me on my side, I put so now the Discord channel is published, so we are able to do that. I will take a shower. I will go take the boat because I need to go sell my stuff on the north side to my friend, and I need to be at 2 o'clock on the other side. And I start to worry. Maybe I will be late, but he will not be angry. I mean, he's relaxed. He's not. He doesn't work anything today. So when I will come back, I will come back on YouTube. We'll see if someone is streaming. I have no intention personally to stream today, but I just hope. But we will see later. I'm pretty sure. So all
right, take care, man.
Take care. See you later.
All right. If anyone else wants to come up, let me know. I'm trying to do something, but chat won't let me. There we go. Nope, go back. I'm trying to post a link to the store at least, but it's having issues. There we go. I think that'll work. There we go. So we got Alexander's Discord. If you want to do that, you can go to there. The StreamYard link if you want to join me for the next couple of minutes, because I'll probably head out in about 5-10 minutes anyway. Excuse me. And of course, a link to the eBay store. So, anything else you guys want to talk about? Either join up on the StreamYard or I think I'm posting the right links to the StreamYard. Unfortunately, I had one that was wrong earlier because it was the old StreamYard's link, and I don't know if I'm still posting the wrong one. I could be. Let me know in the chat if I'm posting the wrong one. Or now that I'm on my lonesome, I'm watching the viewing numbers drop. They're like, oh, we don't want to see Vile Mike by himself. We want to see him with the Vile Child or with Crazy Alexander or somebody else. I could make it worse for you guys and turn the camera back on now that I'm sitting in the car. The only reason I'm sitting in the car is so I can smoke, because I don't smoke in the storage unit. And I'm holding the phone, so the camera is like all over the place. Richie, do you subscribe to Hulu? Because I think all 4 seasons are now on Hulu. I know the first 3 were for sure, but I don't know if the 4th one has been added yet. And I get it, Cinnabon. I can't always join other people's streams either. But, and yes, Richie, of course, we all know the Vile Child is the real star. It even says so in the credits. Yeah, I feel the same way about other franchises. Like, I keep forgetting about Batwoman. I do want to get around because I'm trying to catch up with all the Arrowverse type shows. I'm trying to catch up at least till the last Crisis stuff, and then I'm gonna watch Crisis. I did post a link to it earlier, Brando. I'll see if I can post a link again. I was on some other streaming platform, so hold on. Let me see if I can post it again. All right, that's where it's about 2 minutes long, so. Energy Pool says no, he's got Netflix, and some episodes have been available through Cox Cable. Well, I don't have Cox Cable either. The only things I watch is Hulu and Netflix, and occasionally a friend of mine will give me access to. He's got CBS All Access, and he's got the DC streaming thing, so I can watch a lot of stuff through them. And that's where I'm basically catching up on the Arrowverse stuff, is on the DC side, because Hulu only has the last season. They don't have anything from like the last 4 or 5 seasons and whatnot. The TOS stuff was kind of put on hold for a little bit because the Vile Child had a death in her family, and we didn't end up recording for a couple of weeks because of that. Although I'm still working on the Squire, or the Squire of Gothos, which should be up fairly soon. And then we did end up recording yesterday the arena stuff. So as soon as I finish with Squire of Gothos, I'm going to post that one, and then we'll try to get the arena done fairly quickly. I have a sort of plan that I'm not going to talk about to get the arena out faster. But, okay, well, the plan is to have somebody else do the editing for me. And, of course, my little thing went off. So, but yeah, the only reason I stopped the Squire of Gothos editing because to get the next Voltron that went out. But Voltron, because of the way we write the scripts, it's a lot easier to get those episodes out. Because maybe it's the way the script is written and the editing is so much easier that I can get one of those episodes written, recorded, and out in like a week, whereas it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get a TOS one out. And yes, Richie, in my car, I have the Chargers blanket up, covering up my back seat. I used to be a pretty big Chargers fan until they left San Diego. Since then, I've only watched like one game on TV and don't care anymore. But I keep the blanket up. And I won't get rid of that blanket because one of my customers actually gave me that blanket as a gift, and it's got a little bit of sentimental value. Because back when I sold at the swap meets, I had a bunch of people that would literally tell me like they would only come to the swap meet to see me. Even if they weren't going there to buy anything, they'd be willing to spend the money to drive, park, and pay admission to the swap meet just to hang out and talk with me. And in fact, 1 year on my birthday, I got more gifts from my customers who actually remembered that it was my birthday than I got from family members. And I'm very appreciative of my customers and my regular customers, especially. So yeah, that's when a customer does something nice for me, I'm not going to forget it. Which is why I won't get rid of that blanket, despite the fact that I'm not a huge Chargers fan anymore. Well, you might have to wait for that particular episode, Richie. I have a feeling you're going to like our particular review on that one. But the arena script was written to be more like a Voltron script. So it's not going to be as play-by-play like the previous episodes have been. Like the Star Trek scripts have always been a lot longer. Like I'll give you an example. The Squire of Gothos, when we actually recorded it, was almost an hour long, and I've cut it down to about 20 minutes. The arena script, we actually recorded the entire episode in about 20 minutes. So it's probably gonna be a lot shorter than you're familiar with when it comes to our Star Trek reviews. But I'm hoping, because of the way we're writing the script now, or at least we're going to try to do for Star Trek episodes, it'll be a lot easier to pump out and more fun for us. Because the part I hate most is editing. I mean, I do enjoy editing to an extent. Like after I get off work, I usually edit a video for an hour or two, and it's just a nice way to unwind. But I don't want to make, because the YouTube thing is kind of for fun. I don't want to make it feel like work. You know, as soon as I feel like I'm obligated to do it, or that I'm forced to do it, it's going to make me want to do it a lot less. And Richie, I understand. That's exactly how I felt about the Chargers. I was one of those. I had Charger stickers on my car. I wore Charger shirts. I I had a LaDainian Tomlinson jersey, but after the Chargers left, I pretty much got rid of everything except for that blanket. Now, if you're talking about if they just left Minnesota or if they left, I'm gonna turn off the camera. Minnesota entirely, or if they left the actual area that they're in, because LA and San Diego are not that far apart, but still don't feel the same love for the Chargers, even if they only moved like 20 miles away. I mean, hell, they're still in the same state, just one county or two counties north. And holy crap, I think this is the first stream I've gone over 2 hours on. So I might end it soon just because it's already been over 2 hours. Can't believe I've had a 2-hour stream for the first time. Maybe as soon as I finish this particular cigar. It's like waiting for the chat to catch up. Come on, Richie. We're all waiting for you to tell us what you think about if the Vikings didn't leave Minnesota but left the city they're in. The pressure's on you right now. The whole stream depends on your answer to that question. Maybe the stream can't end until you answer the question. I watch you actually already left and is not paying attention. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. All right, there we go. All right, well, he gave us the answer. Vikings are one of the few teams that is identified with an entire state. So as long as they stay in Minnesota, he's okay. But apparently, Cinnabon does not like the Vikings. As for switching to the live chat, Richie, I'm on Streamlabs, so it's all live chat. But it might take a while for it to load up with each time because I am streaming and I'm using the phone. But yeah, the Arizona Cardinals, I guess, are kind of associated with the entire state. I think that's one of the benefits like New England has is because they call themselves the New England Patriots. That's not just identifying with a single state. That's identifying with an entire region of the country. So it's like a lot of people can be a New England fan just because they live in New England. And, if you're talking about choking every season, Cinnabon, try being a Chargers fan. So many seasons where we, went to the playoffs and then lost like the first game or two. It was aggravating. So, all right, I'll go ahead and sign off for now. Since someone else wanted to join the stream because the rest of you guys are shy or cowards or whatnot. But yeah, go ahead and go to anyone who is on the stream, go to their channel, subscribe to them. Bird of Prey, even Crazy Alexander. I don't think Caddy does anything on her channel, but you can subscribe to her too. Oh, subscribe to her the Twitters. I can't remember. I think it's just at SD GameSwap for me and at SD GameSwap 2 for her. I'm trying to get her to post a meme a day with a link to one of the items having to do with the meme, similar to the one I did yesterday. Which I thought was funny because I actually got a couple of retweets out of it. It was just a picture of Worf doing the Klingon stare, and I said it's a good time to read some books, and the link was to the Star Trek Day of Honor books. But that's the kind of thing I want Candy to try to do every day, but she's lazy. I love her to death, but she's lazy. What else? Oh yeah, I earlier posted the link to the store, so go there, buy something if you want to support the channel, because I'm too poor for a real person, a real company to pay me to promote their stuff, and I don't have enough subscribers to get any ad revenue from eBay or from YouTube. I need about another 800 and some odd subscribers. So yeah, I need those too. All right, I think that's about it. So yeah, I'm finally gonna head out. Later, folks.